everyone, it's Laurie from Cook Scrap Craft. Today I am back with another scrapbook process video for you, and this one is using a kit that I purchased a couple months ago from Not Just for Boys Kit Club. It's a soccer themed kit. It might still be available in their store. I would give it a look-see, and if they don't have the soccer kit, they have lots of other really great kits, plus instructions on how to put together the layouts, which is kind of what I'm starting off with here. I really liked the papers that came in the kit. I knew that I had tons of spring soccer photos and I wanted to get them all on a 2-page layout. I already did one layout of soccer photos, and I used some of the embellishments from this kit, but I didn't use everything, and I have a process video for that, so I'll try to have that linked below if I can remember. But that one I did a background of hexagons in different pattern paper shapes, because obviously the soccer ball has hexagon shapes all over it. So this one is going to be a 2-pager, and like I said, I'm following the page instructions, sort of. The page instructions are very specific, and you can follow them step by step. I just kind of took a look at the picture and decided to kind of figure out on my own what needed to go where and what pieces I was using. And then also, because I'm not using only 4 photos, I'm actually going to be using 7. And even then, I still had to throw some out, but I'm going to be using 7 photos. So like my layout's still going to look a little bit different than their layout. So yeah, I think I throw out 2 or 3 photos because I just didn't have space for them on the page, and there really wasn't much going on in them. Like one of them, I had taken, it was my kid like kicking a soccer ball across the field, but there's like no motion in it. So I said, you know what, I don't need to have this one. I'll keep the ones that actually show some movement, and I'll get rid of the other one. Now here, the instructions for the original layout say to grab an X-Acto knife and to cut part of that soccer ball so that you can tuck the photo underneath the soccer ball. I don't have an X-Acto knife. I think I used to, but I don't have it anymore. And I also didn't feel like taking the time to try to figure out how to do it without. And I was like, you know what? The soccer ball is just going to get covered up by the photo, and that's going to be okay. So that's what I did. Basically, that's a 4x6 vertical photo that I've got on the left. And then the other 2 I cut down to 3x4 horizontal. And I backed the vertical one on some gray cardstock, and I am going to back the other 2 on cardstock as well. I just haven't figured out the right placement for them. So that soccer cut apart, I'm following the directions for that, doing some tearing on the top and bottom. And then there's the striped pattern paper that I also did some paper tearing on the bottom. And I cut that to the specifications. There were certain measurements for some of the pattern papers to get you started. And so I did follow those measurements exactly. Somehow I don't know, when we get to the second page, I end up doing something different because I'm not sure what they were doing, or if they meant to show something else, or if they were using 2 pieces of pattern paper. But I don't have enough of the pattern that they show, so I do something different. So we'll get to that when we get to the second page. This is just the first page for now. I've got the enamel dots out. I've got the little soccer ball charms, and then something that's really great. And it takes me a little while to figure it out because, again, I wasn't totally reading all of the instructions. But there's packaging. The packaging for Not Just for Boys Kit Club kits. They offer pieces that can be reused. So they have a tag, and at first I'm like, I don't have this tag. I don't understand. So I was going to use that sticker tag, and then I read the instructions, and the back of this packaging here is a tag. And so that's what you get to cut out and use. So I love that their packaging is reusable. I think that's just a really great idea. And you can, even if you buy something from a manufacturer and the packaging, doesn't look reusable, you can still reuse it. Like I reuse the Pink Fresh Studio backgrounds, the cardstock backgrounds for their packaging, because usually there's some sort of pattern on it, whether it's like a ledger pattern or just stripes. And I like to reuse that and use that as like matting for photos or something like that. So don't be afraid to reuse the packaging. Now I am using Elmer's a glue tape runner, and I like it, but when it comes to sticking things down, it's pretty like permanent. So I do prefer my double-sided adhesive squares just because I do a lot of like sticking down and peeling up and then wanting to stick down and peel up. And you can't do that as well with the glue runner. But as I said in a previous video, that was what was available at Walmart at the time. So yeah. Now that one photo at the top there, I bumped up on some foam tape just for something extra to give this page some extra dimension. And then those little soccer charms that I think are so cute. I don't know where they found them or if they made them specifically for this kit. I have no idea, but I think they're so cute. And here I'm following the original layout in terms of the placement of the embellishments. So there's a sticker there. There's the charm that I stuck down with glue dots. Although you could use the glue runner. You just need something that's going to be stronger. Like the adhesive squares, they're not strong enough. So you definitely need like a glue dot or some sort of glue tape to hold it down. So I've got the enamel dots. I've got my little charm. I've got the stickers. Yeah, and I like the background of this. There's not going to be a whole lot of embellishment on this side of the page because that background is pretty busy. But I like it. And I think this is a really interesting page to use. It's not something that I probably would have picked for myself, but seeing it in this kit and seeing how they used it in their 2-page layout definitely made me go, oh, okay, this is okay. This can be okay. And I will also say that I hate those enamel dots. They are Echo Park. I don't know what the problem is, but none of them come off clean. All right. So all of their backing is just stuck onto the plastic, and then I have to use my glue dots to stick it back down. It's really annoying. It hurts my fingers. I have very short nails and it's wintertime, so like my skin is cracking. And so when I'm trying to use my thumbs to peel up these ridiculous enamel dots, it's really painful. So maybe manufacturers could work on that a little bit because these are not the only enamel dots that I've had problems with recently. Maybe it's me. I don't know. Am I peeling them up wrong? I all of a sudden I'm just having all these issues with enamel dots. I don't know. All right. So second page, per their instructions, we have the soccer ball strip on the right side. They had something else that was kind of breaking up the orange and the soccer ball. I don't know what it was, to be quite honest with you. So I just used the branding strip from the other page and stuck it down there. And then they have here's another thing where like it doesn't really make sense. They had a big blue section going behind the photos. But if I did the big blue section, I wouldn't have been able to use that cut apart, the field drawing cut apart, which they have on their page as well. So I was like, I don't understand. So I just swapped. So instead of having blue behind the photos, I have the striped paper. And then instead of having the striped paper torn on the side, I'm doing the blue paper. And it's going to be okay. So again, maybe if I'd been following the directions exactly step by step, it would have all made sense. But I hadn't used any of the other cut aparts aside from that soccer page, and I cut that out by hand. I didn't just like slice right across. So I'm not totally sure. I'm not totally sure where that's coming from their instructions, but it doesn't matter because they made it work and it's fine. So now I'm going through the photos, trying to figure out which ones to get rid of and which ones to keep. I'm going to end up having 4 photos on this page, and I'm cutting them all down to 3x4 horizontal. They're originally 4x6. And I like cutting them down because then it gets more focus. It's like cropping it, gives more focus on what's actually happening on the field. You can see things a little bit closer, or at least it seems like you can see things a little bit closer because the focus is so narrow on the photo now. So I still have some soccer pieces left over from this kit, actually, and that's unfortunate because my daughter doesn't want to do soccer anymore, but I'm saving a lot of the embellishments because they could be used. I could figure out a way to make them work for other sports. Apparently, we have signed up for basketball, and I paid them $65 back in October and haven't heard a word back about when the basketball season starts. And apparently that's just the way things are with school sports, town rec sports, whatever. I think it's super annoying because like I like to plan things and know specific dates, like when are the practices, when are the games. I don't want to pay money if it's going to turn out that we actually can't attend anything, right? So anywho, hopefully basketball starts up in the new year at some point, and I can take some pictures of that and try to use some of the other embellishments for that. And if she does the spring running series again, there are like some grassy green embellishments that we can use because they run on the grass. So I think that'll be good for that as well. All right, so now I'm just sticking everything down here. I've got my photos backed and matted on some more gray cardstock, which is just from my stash. None of that, the gray cardstock did not come with this kit. That was from my stash. And I just used like random pieces of cardstock. I don't even think they were from the same manufacturer. They're probably not even the same color gray, but whatever, who really cares, right? And then there's this is what I love about the Not Just for Boys Kit Club kits, is that they always come with these great cut-aparts that are already done for you. So if you don't have a cutting machine, you don't have to worry about it. All you have to do is back it. And I'm going to do that in a second. I'm just trying to figure out the correct placement of where I want everything to go because I'm trying to, the photos are different than what's on the original sketch, but I want to make sure that I have everything down so that I know where I'm going to be placing that cut apart and some of the other embellishments. So the title over here is Goal, and that's made using stickers because I purchased the photo play sticker sheet. That was an extra. I think if I hadn't purchased the sticker sheet, there was a cut apart where you could cut the words goal out of it, and that's probably what they did on the original layout. But because I had the sticker sheet, I was like, you know what, I'm just going to use this. So that's what I did. Then I'm going through to find all the other embellishment pieces that I'm going to need per the picture instructions, because I want to make sure that I have those all ready to go. And then this is something that I haven't done with a cut apart. I just took an Elmer's glue stick and just rubbed it down on the cardstock that I was going to use to back this cut apart, and then just let it dry. And that's it. I know a lot of people, and I've done it in the past, we've used like thin line glue, especially if you're going to be doing a lot of different patterns or you're doing a lot of different backing, lots of piecing on your cut apart. But I was just doing everything all in green. The original layout that they showed, actually, it was a green border with, I think, white cardstock on the back. But the way that they printed out for this kit, it was a white border. And so I added the green cardstock from my stash. You could have done, a leftover pattern. You could have done each soccer ball a different color, lots of different ways that you could have done it. I just kept it simple because I ain't got time for backing all those tiny little pieces. So then once it was pretty much dry enough, I started cutting. And what's actually really nice about the Elmer's glue stick is that it dries clear. So nobody's going to see anything, and it's flat, unlike the liquid glue. So you're not going to get like a lot of bunching and bubbles and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm just cutting this out here with they're not really fussy cutting scissors, but they're smaller scissors than my regular scissors, if that makes sense. So yeah, you're watching me cut it out very carefully, or as carefully as I possibly can, and then it's going to be ready to stick down. Before we go any further, or I'm going to go further in the video, but before I talk about anything else, I just want to say welcome back to my channel if you're a subscriber. It's so great to have you here, doing some scrapbooking in the new year with me. If you're new to this channel, welcome, and I hope that this is an inspiring video for you, and that if you like it, you click that subscribe button and ring that notification bell and give this video a thumbs up like, because I'd love to have you be a subscriber and come back for more scrapbook process videos every Tuesday, sometimes Thursdays, sometimes there are lots of other videos that happen throughout the month as well, but there's always a process video on Tuesdays. So I'm trying to figure out the right placement for these little word stickers, because my stuff is kind of over a little bit farther than in the original layout. And so I'm just trying to figure out where these are going to work the best. And ultimately, that unbelievable one, it's just too long. So I grabbed a different one, and there's my big head, so you can't see, but I have to get very close to make sure the placement is lined up right. So I chose a smaller one, and that's no big deal. I mean, you don't have to follow these layouts or these page kit instructions exactly. You can add and do whatever you want, which is kind of nice. It's nice that they give you the full sheet of stickers so that you can kind of do what you want, as opposed to some kits where they're like, you're using these 3 cut aparts, and those are the only 3 cut aparts that we've provided for you, which is fine. But sometimes it is nice to kind of do your own thing, especially if you are doing different size photos and really trying to make it work for the photos that you have, as I am doing here. So I really am liking that I got 7 photos on this 2-page layout. I think it's a design that I would definitely use again for different photos. Doesn't have to be soccer layout, doesn't have to be sports related at all. So I'm really liking this layout, and I hope that you guys try it out too if you are in the market for doing some 2-page layouts. I feel like a lot of the layouts that I have on deck right now are 2-pagers because I just have so many. I have so many series of photos. Oh, and hey, here's the close-ups. You can see things a little bit more detail, some of the dimension and stuff like that. If you like this video, please give this video a thumbs up and let me know in the comments below what you're busy scrapbooking or what sports your kids play that you're scrapbooking right now. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.